So WWE finally did it, okay? After years of begging and pleading and creating multiple videos on this channel about it, WWE has finally introduced the mid-card title we've been waiting for. If you didn't see it, Nick Aldis tonight has unveiled the new Women's United States Championship. And when you look at that thing, it is gorgeous, man. It is fantastic. It looks amazing. Even to the point where I almost bought myself one, but it's not on the WWE shop yet, which doesn't make any sense, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Now, although I'm super excited about its existence, I do have a couple of critiques about it. Again, it does not take away from how I feel about it, but I can't help but think about these things. For one, I have a kind of a problem on how they introduced this title. You know, I wish they would have went into the center of the ring, had a podium with the title on it, covered in a velvet cover or whatever they call it, and they could have pulled it off to introduce it to the world as you would do any other brand new title in WWE, especially when Nick Aldis introducing it as being a big moment in women's wrestling. If you're going to do that, why not introduce it and show it off as such, as opposed to having a pre-recorded backstage thing where he does it backstage. That just did not feel like that the title was important. And on top of that, when the news came out a few minutes before SmackDown started, where they said, well, there's going to be a huge announcement tonight, it just, all of it together just felt like it was a rushed presentation. I do love the fact that it exists, but I can't help but see that. The other thing that I have a critique about is the design of the title. Now, although I do love it, I love the white strap, I wish there was something on the faceplates that would, you know, kind of distinguish it a little bit more from the men's United States Championship. I just wish they would have did something there. If it stays like this, I'm perfectly fine with it, but that's just like a small critique. But either way, I'm excited about its existence. You guys already know how I feel about a mid-card title being here, because when it comes to the women's division, I thought it was just kind of sad, because if you're not a main champion on either brand or going for that main title, or if you're not in a tag team or going after the tag team title, you just sit in limbo with nothing to do until your contract expires or you get released. That's just what happens there. I get it. That is the part of the wrestling business. It happens. But I'm like, you know what? At least give them a mid-card title for something to face, because I understand that not everybody is ready to face for the heavyweight championship on either brand, whether it's men or women. But there are some people who will make great long-term mid-card champions. Even if they never go after the heavyweight championship, they can make great historic runs with a mid-card title, like people like Scott Hall, and the list goes on and on as far as some of the greatest wrestlers of all time that only have had mid-card titles. You could literally do that with the women. And that brings up the question, guys. Who should be the inaugural champion for this title? Also, do they need an Intercontinental Championship? Well, let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship first. I don't think they need one yet. Not right now. If they want to introduce it on the first episode of Raw on Netflix, then maybe, but because there's rumors going out that they're going to be moving a lot of people up to the main roster from NXT. But if that does not happen, especially right now when you have SmackDown and Raw are both 2-hour shows, I think if you look at the women's roster as a whole, the amount of people that's there don't justify having a second mid-card title. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. Because if you look at either brand when it comes to their heavyweight championships for the women, it seems like they have a hard time finding competitors for that anyway. So if you add a fourth singles title for the women, like right now, then it's literally going to be worse. It's going to be way worse. The booking's going to get even worse. So I think you should keep it as one singular title and then see what happens when Raw and SmackDown goes 3 hours. Now, as far as the inaugural champion, I only got a couple of people I can think of, and that is this. One, Chelsea Green, right? If they can book her to be taken more seriously in the ring, then that will make sense, because she's already over with the fans. Everybody love her. She will make a great inaugural champion. Number two, it would have to be Charlotte Flair, right? And I know people hate saying that because, you know, or hate hearing that because they're like, she gets all the championships all the time. That's all she does is come in and win titles. That's all she does all day. I get all that. But if you want to establish a title and give it a little prestige, you have to put it on somebody who's already well established. And Charlotte Flair, of course, when she comes back, you know they're going to put a title on her. And you know she's probably not going to want one of those main titles. She's going to want a shiny new toy. You might as well call this the Charlotte's United States Championship, because she's getting this title when she comes back, if it's not for someone else who is new or another person who is a person who's established who can give prestige to this title before it moves on to the next person. And that could be Bayley. Bayley could be the other person, right? It could be for her again because she's already established and she already has a lot of she has a lot of experience in the ring. So whoever faces her, she can build up other stars, build up other mid-carders, and then get it taken away from her by basically a heel. The other person I could think of is it could have been Lyra Valkyria, but because they seem to no longer push her like they did during King of Queen of the Ring, I can't see them doing that yet. They got to give her a little bit more time, but maybe she could be the person if Charlotte Flair is the one who gets the inaugural championship. Maybe Valkyria could be the one to take the title off of her in the future, and that'll be a great look for her. That would be a really good look for her. The other person I could think of is Naomi. I think Naomi would make a great mid-card title champion, and we all know that. I think she did great in TNA as the Knockouts champion, so it shows us that she makes a great champion. We've seen her as SmackDown Women's Champion. She makes a great champion, so it don't make sense for her to not even be thought about when it comes to someone being the inaugural champion of this. And the other two people I can think of, and this one I'm least in favor of, and it could be for one. It could be Candice LeRae. And not Candice LeRae by her own merit, but by the help of Nia Jax, because what we saw on SmackDown, they have the storyline where it seems like that Nia Jax is going to replace Tiffany Stratton with Candice LeRae. And that would make sense for Nia Jax to help her get a title and be like, hey, I helped you get your title, now you got to help me get my title back, which I think should happen after Tiffany Stratton cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Nia Jax. And after Tiffany lost that match tonight, Nia Jax didn't look too happy with the result of that match. The other one I could think of is Ivy Nile. Now, I am not 100%, I'm probably not even 5% in favor in this, but the only reason this will make sense is because of the name of the faction that she's in. They represent America. They're America made, so why not have the person who's America made have the United States Championship? But outside of that, that's as far as it goes for me. That's as far as it goes for me. But anyway, at the end of the day, are you guys excited about the existence of this title? Who do you think should be the inaugural champion? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Salute, peace, have a good day.